I'm bored. Let's watch Heel versus Baby Brain. I mean, Babyface. Babyface. Why would I call him Baby Brain? Why would I call him that? All right, board fam, Eric here. And this week we got a ton of great video game trailers. One of the ones that I really enjoyed, well, actually there was more than one, there was like 4 of them, but I really enjoyed seeing this new journey in God of War with Lao Fei being the lead character. I thought it was gonna be a lot of fun, but I knew right away, as soon as I saw that the game was gonna be centered on her, that all of these meltdowns would happen. All of these guys would lose their minds because it's just a woman existing in something. And before you even get your hands on it to play it, you have to establish the narrative. And the narrative is woman in game equal bad. That's what that narrative is. And it's never been clearer than watching a heel versus babyface video. I can promise you, I've watched a little bit of this video already. I haven't watched the whole thing. We'll see how much we get through. That in this video, he's going to explain to you why a woman in a video game as a lead character is a bad thing. Or maybe just make himself look really stupid. So let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Was that an editing mistake? Is that an inside joke with him? I don't know. Like the countdown's usually to like help you out when you're editing. He left it in the video. Okay.
God of War is back, baby. And this time they're wearing a dress and they're talking to a gooey cube.
Okay, so wearing a dress. All right, already establishing that women are a problem. Let's continue.
And I think they're doing the laundry or something. I might have read the name wrong.
Misogyny.
But I think I'm right.
Okay.
I wonder if they'll make me a sandwich.
Oh, knee slapper. Just misogynistic jokes from like 1,000 years ago. Love it. Love it. I bet this hits really hard for his fan base. All of the idiots out there who laugh at the same joke about women over and over and over again. Absolutely hilarious. Which, by the way, I think it's really interesting that he leads in with this because this tells me already, based on the way he's starting out this video, that we're not going to really get much meat on the bone of this argument. It really is just, it's a woman, and so we're going to trash the game. But let's see, maybe he'll surprise me. Maybe after the 2 or 3 minute mark, it'll get really deep. He'll start to talk about some of the reasons why her being the lead of this game is going to be bad outside of her being a her.
Hi everyone, it's Az here from Heel versus Babyface. You're never going to believe this. How many times are we going to start a video with that? But State of Play was...
How many times are you going to start a video with that? I don't know, every time a woman is a lead character in a game? I mean, it's kind of what you do. This is kind of what you guys do when it comes to women in media. So it doesn't really surprise me.
Absolute crap.
Okay.
Wow, it's so well known for showcasing greatness to come. Oh my goodness me. I'm so glad that
Well, I mean, why are you even doing this anymore? You know what I mean? Like what are we doing? Like legitimately, outside of the video here about this game, if you're so miserable with everything that comes out every single year, why are you still doing it? At a certain point, it would be healthy to move on to a different hobby. Oh, but wait, this isn't a hobby anymore. It's how he pays the light bills. It's how he pays his rent. Therefore, he can't do anything else. He has to get on camera and perform for his audience. Okay, so literally everything he does is tainted by the fact that he needs to make money.
I missed it live, but when I caught it back later, where I could pause it, do it at my own leisure, oh my goodness me. I don't know. I think Ill was the only game that I was legitimately like, ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I want to get me some of this.
Okay, so like one out of like 20 things announced. You're not really a gamer anymore at this point, right? I mean, like, I can't imagine like participating in some sort of like community where I'm no longer entertained by like 90% of the things that they're giving me. It's like just one thing appeals to me. I can't imagine that.
Everything else, even that lovely woman who was ex-Bethesda or, used to work for Bethesda, whatever, who used to go, and all that kind of stuff. Even her game.
Right. You had to point out she was a woman. You had to point that out so people understand, like, woman and game and whatever she did on stage is all, it's bad because she's a woman. Just to drive it home.
Did nothing for me. Wolverine, maybe a decent gameplay loop, possibly, but again, we got race changed heroes. Jean Grey looks like a dude, and it's been worked on.
This is what I'm talking about. Why does Jean Grey have to appeal to you visually and like so you can objectify her and you're turned on by her? Why is that important? Does the gameplay look bad? Because these are games, right? So outside of the visual element, there's also other things that you're doing. It's not a movie. It's not a TV show. It's an actual game. Was there something in that trailer because I saw the trailer, I thought if these are mechanics we're going to get to do in the game, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I didn't look at the characters and go, which one of these characters would I fuck? I mean, like, I understand it's the internet and people are fucking weird, right? They are. And I'm not going to yuck anybody's yum in that way. But I don't think you should base whether or not you like a video game on who you would fuck in the game. I don't think that's a good way to judge a video game. I mean, does it affect the gameplay? I don't think so.
By Sweet Baby and people like that,
so... Sweet Baby. Sweet Baby Inc., the boogeyman these guys use for everything. They seem to think that Sweet Baby Inc. is in control entirely of the properties they assist on, whether it's just a little bit of help or some sort of narrative assistance that they get. They seem to think that the Sweet Baby Inc. controls everything. It's like a boogeyman. It's the DEI Sweet Baby Inc. buzzword boogeyman. They use it over and over and over again. And here we are in 2026, still hearing it from these guys.
Yourself up the you-know-where. Unsurprisingly, Silent Hill looked like trash.
Okay.
After the offering last year, which at least looked great, and the story was terrible. I was kind of hoping that maybe set in Scotland, we might get something.
Can we just get to God of War? Can we get to that? I really don't care what you think about all these other games.
God. And then we had the announcement of a new God of War game. And is Kratos here? Is he back? Is he more brutal than ever? No, this time he's coming with laundry detergent and it's his dead wife.
My name.
Misogyny, sexism, all of those things. I don't feel like that's actual criticism. I don't feel like it's criticism. A lot of games and movies and TV shows do stories in those worlds that don't center around every single character. I feel like these guys are in a spot where it's just copy and paste at this point, right? Complain that the games aren't repeating the same characters, the same story beats, the same elements every single time. And you might say, well, Eric, that's a straw man. Okay, maybe it is a little bit of a straw man, but I don't know any other way to take that criticism. I don't know any other way to take it. If you're going to say that it's not about her being a woman, then that leads me into, well, it must be about the direction of the franchise, right? And that the franchise is doing things other than Kratos or the main character. So if those are the only two roads we choose, then the argument must be that they're not recycling Kratos through another story, right? That's what it is. Otherwise, it would be there's a woman in it. I mean, there's no other. Is there another path? I don't think there is.
It's Jimmy Myers. I'm the narrative director on God of War La Fey.
My name is Elise Morgan, and I am the lead writer on God of War La Fey.
My first experience with God of War was playing 2018.
I started my first God of War game with 2018 as well.
Oh, wow. I would have never have been able to tell.
What's the problem with that? What's the issue with that? The 2018 game was a reboot of the story into the Norse mythology, right? So it isn't necessary for you to know all of the other stuff. I have a lot of friends that started in 2018 and they love the game. They're just as valid as fans of the franchise as people that played it before. If they played 2018 and 2022, they're still fans of the franchise. This sort of gatekeeping litmus test for being in the fandom is pretty much par the course for these guys, because when you can't actually complain about the core of these things, the gameplay, all of these things, when you don't actually have those things to talk about and make those sort of complaints, then all you can do is cherry pick and go after people for interviews, red carpet stuff. This is what these guys do. I've seen it over and over and over again. If it's your first time at my channel, you go through the videos that I've watched. This is what these guys do. They don't actually look at the movies, the TV shows, the games, and focus in on that. They talk about everything outside of that. It's all superficial stuff. It's all things that don't really have a lot to do with whether or not the game is going to be good in the end. They're not 100% accurate. These guys are very hit or miss when they complain about stuff, and it's because they're looking at things like this. I don't give a fuck about this. All I care about is whether or not the game is good when I play it. I don't care who's in charge of what, as long as the final product is something that I'm enjoying and having fun with. But let's go ahead and continue to poison the well.
By the way, this introduction into Faye video is going down exceptionally well with 39,000 upvotes and
here we go. This is another thing they do. No one gives a fuck about the downvote button because it's not real. It is not a real thing. The API that YouTube used to track dislikes no longer exist to the public. If you download 2 or 3 different extensions for dislikes, you're going to see different numbers. If you're a content creator and you see these dislikes, you can go into your backend and see that they're not accurate. These aren't real numbers. This is the same thing they do again with movies and TV shows. Who gives a fuck about this? Really? Is this going to change whether or not you like the game? Say, for example, it had more upvotes than downvotes. Does that mean the game is automatically good and now you can't complain about the game anymore? No, it doesn't. That would be ridiculous. So why does downvotes on a teaser what does that have to do with the game at all? Like the real game? It's just a trailer. It's just a teaser. And again, YouTube's system allows for multiple accounts to be able to go in and downvote. So if you have 100 accounts, you can downvote 100 times. There's no regulation on that. Even if this were real, it's unregulated.
39,000 downvotes. It's like splitting the fan base in half. Where have we heard that over the course of the last dozen or so years? But I think it's going to be a lot more than half.
It's cherry picking. It's cherry picking. You're looking at one fucking video and you're going, oh, look, it's the downvotes and the upvotes are exactly the same. So I'm going to create a whole fucking story out of this. Bro, just move on. This is lame.
When this game eventually comes out. So just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, the next God of War installment is actually God of War Laundry.
Okay, so far we are like almost 4 minutes into this video, and he has yet to articulate any sort of substantial complaint about the game. Okay? We haven't really talked about the gameplay. We haven't talked about the story, the characters. We haven't done any of that. All we've done is cherry pick stuff, go after an interview at the beginning of a teaser, look at the fake dislike button, and make fun of a woman by saying that she should be in the kitchen doing laundry or making sandwiches. This is not criticism. This is not a serious person. And by the way, in case you're wondering, I have caught Az actually lying before. He lied about Star Trek Starfleet Academy. I made a video about it where he purposely used a clip out of context to make it sound like something else. So Az is a liar. I have proof of that.
Yeah. I'm pretty. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
Great
so
bit.
If you were expecting...
Great bit. It's got to hit with all of the really old men. It's got to be a huge hit with that. Let's see if he's actually going to get into any criticism about the gameplay, which, by the way, is subjective, but at least it's something. Let's see if we get there.
Expecting Kratos to take center stage for the next installment of God of War, then you're probably a sexist, misogynist, or something like that.
Oh, right. Because up until this point, you've given me a reason to think otherwise. You know what I mean? Like, are you serious? Are you serious? Up until this point in the video, you've not said anything of value about the quality of the game other than it's a woman as the lead. That's all you've done. So what else are we supposed to extrapolate from this? How else are we supposed to take another path that leads somewhere else? You haven't given us anything. So yes, of course, at this point in the video, that would be the correct assessment because you haven't given us anything else to work with. So let's see if you get there.
If you are based, drop me a subscription. We need to stick together, people of... Anyway, so this is his wife, Faye, whatever, who's dead.
I just... Have you always felt this way about her? Is it just because they're making a game on her and now you have to be like fucking shitty to her? I just don't. His wife died and it literally was a huge part of the 2018 game, the game that you say you liked. But now that we're getting to see a woman's story instead of having her as a supporting driving narrative for the man, that's a problem? Bro, it's crazy.
And this is her in some sort of afterlife, whatever that may be, even though it kind of looks, Jesus wept, horrible. That's actually meant to be Deborah Ann Worrell, I think.
Wall, and it looks like her. Matter of fact, people that saw the trailer were shocked that it was her. But at least you're trying here. You're trying to give some sort of subjective take. You said it looks ugly. You didn't really explain why, but at least you said something other than a woman lead character is bad. I'll give you that.
I think is how you pronounce her name. Karen Page from Daredevil, if you were wondering. Somebody from Vampire Diaries. Also, I never watched the show, but the missus never stops harping on about it. So there you go.
The missus? That's interesting.
It's her, and yet she's very attractive in real life, very beautiful woman. And of course, because it's a Western game, they've managed to make her look like a haggard old cow.
Okay, so we're back to this again. We're back to like objectifying her, how she looks, whether or not she's attractive. Do you want to fuck her? Like, we're not going anywhere with this. We're not getting anywhere with this critique of the game. We are now 5 minutes into the video, and the only real sort of like useful criticism you've given us is you don't like the way this afterlife world looks. And even that is like very surface level. You didn't really talk about it, but you got plenty to say about whether or not she's attractive enough for you. Which again has very little to do with the overall quality of the game, because I don't give a fuck if you find her attractive or not. I don't care who you find attractive, to be quite honest.
But she's dead and she's in the afterlife, so, she's going to be a little bit rough. These are literally the people who are doing the Lord of the Rings B&W meme. You can accept.
So here we are taking another diverted quest away from the actual criticism of the game. Like, he's doing everything he can to avoid actually talking about all of the stuff we got from the game. Keep in mind, we got probably an hour or so worth of footage to look at from the game, and we're almost at the halfway point of his video, and now we're talking about the Lord of the Rings Reddit.
That there are dragons, elves, and talking trees, but you can't accept a 2021 BMW 5 Series 530i with optional heated seating. Why are you so bigoted?
I love meme culture when it literally has nothing to do with what you're talking about. What does this have to do with a woman who already existed in the game being in one of the games? I don't understand what this has to do with anything. Like, honestly, I don't. Maybe I'm too smart. Maybe you have to be really stupid to get the joke.
Or in this case, sexist, misogynistic. Pick a buzzword.
I mean, you're not giving us anything, bro. You're not giving us anything. Like, what are you saying? You just keep going on about how attractive she is and how a woman as a lead character is bad. Like, if you had something else to say about, like, if you led into this fucking criticism, like, I'll just give you an example. I didn't like the way the gameplay looked. It didn't compare well to the previous games. I thought the graphics were not great. I didn't like the atmosphere. The story isn't really appealing to me. If you would have given us something like that, I'd be like, well, maybe it's something else. But you haven't done that. All you've done is talk about how she's not attractive. A woman as the lead is not good because you're not getting Kratos, and you don't like the look of the afterworld. One minor subjective opinion. Like, you have to understand, like, if you're not giving me anything, I'm just going to go to those things.
Pick a buzzword to attack fans of what was a brutal, male-dominated franchise, which has now received the Disneyfication, cutesy-wootsy, gender-swapping element, which for some...
It's not a gender swap. She's not Kratos. So this is where we're at now. The slippery slope is being displayed here with this game. This is not a race swap character, not a gender swap character. It's just a game in the world of God of War that focuses on a woman that already existed in the game. But now we're calling it a gender swap, right? Secondly, why do men not want to play games with women in them? Like, what is this? Like, you're like, oh, I'm not sexist, I'm not misogynistic, but I don't want to play a game with a woman. I mean, the jokes write themselves.
For some reason, Western game studios feel they need to do because they can't lose enough money. Yes, the franchise which brought us blood, gore, dismemberment, hella violence, sex.
By the way, the game's not out yet. This criticism is weird because you haven't played the game. So this is going beyond what we saw and going, hey, I'm going to criticize the game for the stuff it doesn't have in it when you haven't even played the game yet. How Az is taken seriously as a game reviewer in 2026, I don't understand. Can you talk about the actual teasers instead of culture war shit? You're not critiquing the game. You're just stoking the flames of the online culture war. That's all this video is so far.
Nudity it's now pink. It's now got pink sparkly bits in it. It's got a cutesy wootsy little chipmunk type of creature. Oh my god, isn't it just like the best? When's the plushie coming out so I can snuggly wuggly it? And she's gonna get herself a sidekick, which is a jelly cube.
A gelatinous cube, very much big in lore of like fantasy games, Dungeons and Dragons and things like that. And the fact that you don't know that, or you're pretending not to know that, is a little rookie-ish. Az
that speaks and is voiced by Jack Quaid, because I guess he needs work after the boys. And that's
so working for God of War, a very highly regarded franchise, is somebody desperate for work. How does that work? Again, we have not reached any real criticism. You have skipped over what the actual trailer showed, and you're like, the game doesn't include this, even though you don't know if it includes it or not, because you haven't played the game yet. You accuse an actor of taking the job because they need the money, which, spoiler alert, everybody that works for this makes money. So I don't understand that criticism either. And you still have yet, here we are now, 6.5 minutes into this video, now we're officially at the halfway point, given any real substantial criticism about it. Okay, you don't like the colors pink. Great. That tells me so much about why you have an issue with the actual game. What will we ever do with colorful games? What were they thinking? Crazy.
That's where we've come to now. These male-dominated, violent, fun, power fantasy that we have are all being stripped away. No, you can't have masculinity. You must have femininity. You need.
This is a crash out. It's so weird. It's a game in the franchise. You think we're not going to get another game with Kratos in it? Is that what you're suggesting here? You couldn't be, because that doesn't make sense. Of course we'll get another game with Kratos in it. Of course we're going to get that. So now you're suggesting we can't even get a side story with another character because somehow it is attacking masculinity by having a woman as the lead character? I mean, I thought these were the guys, right? These were the dudes, the non-soy guys, the ones that don't cry about stuff. I thought that they accused us of being soy and crying about stuff. And here I am looking at this game going, okay, it looks good to me. I'm excited to play it. But if you don't want to play it, that's cool too. But you're crying, saying that this game is coming after your masculinity. That's really fucking pathetic.
Need to know what this strong, beautiful, dead woman has got to. It looks like Avowed, which was a mega flop as well from Obsidian.
Okay, so again, we're just talking about the superficial elements of the game. We have not actually talked about anything of substance when it comes to this game. It's just culture war shit. Can we get to something that I can actually try and dissect? Or am I just going to have to keep calling you out on being soft as fuck?
It looks utterly generic. It's been done a million times before.
How?
And of course,
how? Just saying it looks like something else. Talk about this fucking game. Tell me why it looks generic. Saying that you don't like some colors in it isn't a good critique. That's just not a good critique. Holy fuck. This is a game reviewer? Heel versus Babyface is a game guy?
all the discourse around it. Won't mention any of the things that I've just gone through. No,
because it doesn't mean anything. Let me ask you legitimately, as a game creator, if I were making games, what could I take away from this and use it constructively? Can't use pink in a game if a guy plays it because it's a guy, and pink is a girl's color. We can't use that. We can't hire actors, voice actors who are well known, because then they might think that he's just working for a paycheck. That's bad too. We can't use any old school lore like gelatinous cubes or anything like that, or any weird creatures that might look somewhat cute, because it's a guy's game, and we can't do that. Definitely can't have a woman as a lead. And if we have her as the lead character, she has to look sexy as fuck so these guys can goon to her all the time. Like nothing you've said in this can be applied to any sort of criticism that is helpful towards people making these games. None of it.
It will just talk about, oh, you're scared that there's a woman as the main protagonist. Even
you haven't said anything else, bro. You haven't said anything else. It's all been about a woman being in the game. Again, like, what else am I supposed to take from this? Am I losing my fucking mind here?
No, games recently like Stellar Blade have excelled. But that's the wrong type of...
Right. The tokenized Stellar Blade. This is one of their greatest hits. You might as well go back to like Ripley and Sarah Connor. Stellar Blade, the one game with a woman lead, which, by the way, also they trashed it for trying to censor the game. You guys remember that? Remember? It's like they thought they had the biggest hit on their hands with Stellar Blade, which, by the way, is a mid game. It's just an okay game. I'm not going to say it's a bad game. It's just an okay game, right? They act like it's so fantastic. But then about 3 months after the game came out, they started changing the way she looked and censoring parts of the character. And there was all this online drama about that and about bait and switch and all these other things. But they keep tokenizing Stellar Blade. Saying you like this one game where you objectify a woman does not disprove that you're only looking for sexy women in games. I know that's hard to believe, but you're like, this one game that happens to be Gooner bait, this game, we like this one. So we must like women in games. Respecting and liking women is not the same as objectifying them sexually. But, I mean, look who I'm talking about, honestly.
Of woman, because Eve was an attractive woman with long
Right.
legs and buttocks and
Right.
breasts. Remember those? No, they're long gone.
Yeah. Yeah. So nothing about the story. Nothing about the story. You just found her attractive. I mean, maybe when I hit play, you're going to say the story was really good. The gameplay was really good. The boss battles were good. You liked this, XYZ from Stellar Blade. Or are you just going to move on to the next topic and leave it at you thought she was hot? I want to see if I'm right or wrong here.
And a beautiful face and stuff like
Okay,
that, as
right.
well as great gameplay. That's
Oh.
the wrong type of woman.
Great gameplay. Okay, so I give you one for that, but it's pretty much you think she's hot. You think she's hot. That's it. Was the story good? Were the battles good? I guess the gameplay was good. So an absolute mid game that no one but these guys is going to remember like 10 years from now. That game is what women should aspire to, the Stellar Blade.
You got to have a fugly Karen. That's the new norm for our female character. It's like Jean Grey from the Wolverine game. Apart from that, looks like a dude. The writer's thinly disguised fetish coming through every single time.
That's really interesting that you're talking about them disguising their fetish by making women look like men, in your opinion. But then you fetishized Eve from Stellar Blade just a couple minutes ago. So it's okay for you to have a fetish for certain game characters, but it's not okay for the people making the game to have a fetish for certain game characters. I mean, it's a double standard, right? Which also, attractiveness is subjective. So it's not, again, that's not really a useful criticism.
That's where we are now. Dan's Gaming posted the most generic.
Okay, so now we're just jumping over to, we're going to read people's tweets, right? Is this a review of the trailers and stuff? Are you talking about the game really, or is it just she's not attractive, and women are coming to take male gaming away from men? I'm not going to watch him if he's going to sit here and read a bunch of tweets, but I'm going to give him another minute or so.
Eric fence-sitting, sweeping slop tweet. Must protect my overlords in the corporation, otherwise I might not get my little figurine.
So why is it when somebody defends this game, it's wrong and they're protecting overlords, but when you go in and defend like Eve and Stellar Blade, that's not the same thing? Just okay.
Or invites or free game codes or whatever.
I can't believe that people still afraid to play as a woman in a video game.
Does it hit harder
Yeah,
when you talk like that? Does the funny voice make it hit harder? So let me do it for you as well. Tired, been done a million times. Gender swap, Disneyfication of once brutal franchise. Did you get enough buzzwords in that one? Disneyfication, gender swap. Did you get enough of that? By the way, it's not been done a million times. It's not a gender swap, and I don't know what you mean by Disneyfication, but okay. Where the beautiful woman it is based off looks like a haggard cow with dialogue suitable for a canceled CW show. But yeah, afraid of women. Does that make it better? Does that make it better when you just do funny voices?
Because
just curious.
It's a woman. And it's not because it's tired. It's not because it's been done a million times. It's not because it's a gender swapped of a character that people actually want to play.
It's not are you fucking stupid? I'm sorry. Are you fucking stupid? This is not a gender swapped Kratos. Why do you keep saying that? I don't, like, legitimately.
It's not because it's a Disneyfication of a brutal franchise. Blood's gone, but pink sparkle.
We don't know if blood is gone because well, first of all, there's going to be blood in the game. Let's be clear on that. But we're just going to keep saying it. We're going to keep saying gender swap. We're going to keep saying the blood is gone, even though you haven't played the fucking game.
And cutesy wootsy animals and gelatinous cubes are there making silly millennial dialogue. Oh my God. Where a beautiful woman is uglified in the name of progress.
This is the most surface level criticism of a game I've heard in a long time. It's just culture war shit. That's all this is. It's culture. Like if you read this at the top, gender swap, Disneyfication, all of these things are culture war terms, right? That's all this is. We're not talking about the game, really. We're just critiquing things based on culture war. Please don't read another tweet. Like, can we get something of substance in this at all? Because right now, bro, all you're doing is showing that it is about a woman.
And dialogue, as I've just mentioned.
And let me tell you why. Because if you're talking about Disneyfication, that is suggesting that it's become feminized. And feminized connects to it being about a woman, right? It's about how beautiful she is. It's about a game centered around a woman's story. All of these things are about it being a woman. Let's be clear here.
That kind of fits alongside a cancelled CW show. Oh, no,
Right.
no. We're all crying because
Oh, it's a woman.
Everything you've said so far is about it being either a woman or a feminization of a male-dominated space. So it is about a woman. You're suggesting it doesn't have blood because it's made for women. You're suggesting the pink is there because it's being made for women. You're talking about how attractive the woman is in the lead role. You're saying it's Disneyfied because of the cutesy animals that are made for women. Bro, it is about women.
the fuck up. In actual fact, Domino's in the UK has decided to join our side of this equation.
Okay, we are going to read tweets. I'm not sitting here and listening to him read tweets. Let's do this. Let's do this here because I think it's really important. He says it's not about it being a woman. I beg to differ. I did some notes here. So this is what the criticism actually says. So when he says the franchise is being feminized, what he means is he's treating femininity as contamination. That is part of the problem itself for being there because it is taking something away from men. When he's talking about a woman-centered lead being the problem, the core complaint is a woman is a bad idea in a male-coded franchise. Stellar Blade is fine. He's using that saying, hey, I don't dislike women. Look how I talk about Eve, how sexy she is. But that just goes to prove that he only cares about women in franchises like this when he can objectify them and talk about how hot and sexy they are. He's also mocking the feminine visuals, pink colors, cute sidekick, basically any visual aspect of it that looks like it could be for a woman. But what he really means is that the feminine aesthetics are weak and they're not a great creative choice. Part of that is subjective, but it's still about women. The last thing is calling the lead character ugly, saying she's a Karen, not being attracted to her. So if he's focusing on how attractive the woman is and not the story, gameplay, any of those other elements, he's just proving again that this is just a hate for women. So it's not criticism, everyone. Congratulations, Az, you have just proven that all of those buzzwords that you hate, sexist, misogynistic, all of those things simply rings true when your entire criticism falls into these traps. And these are things that he does. And I'm seeing this all over the internet, seeing it everywhere, where these guys are just mad that it's a woman in the lead of a game in an existing franchise with Kratos, which is crazy. Also, not gender swapped. It's crazy he kept saying that, right? Not gender swapped. But if you went on to enjoy this video, please consider subscribing, becoming part of the board fam over here, hanging out with us. Leave a like, leave a comment down below if you want to see me do this again to someone else. Take care.